Sara Nelson is with us right now. Sara is the president of the Association of Flight Attendants. Good to have you on. So, we knew this day was coming now for the last few days, and you know that flights were going to start getting canceled. Delays have been building. To Jessica's point, people have been kind of preparing for it. What's life been like for flight attendants since this shutdown began, day-to-day work?
We are always concerned about safety and security whenever there is a shutdown. We're concerned first and foremost that when you even get near to a shutdown, the systems start to go through their checklist of shutting things down and only having the essential people come to work. So it stops all of the progress, the hiring, the infrastructure, everything. So it's already a problem. We've been concerned about that impact to safety and security. For example, not having technicians or safety inspectors on the scene and able to keep us safe. There's an erosion of safety and security and an introduce of new risks that make it very difficult for the system and make it so that oftentimes flights have to be slowed down. Now, we've seen this throughout the shutdown where individual airports or individual air traffic controllers are determining it's not safe to move at the same speed at the capacity that was in place. So these cuts are a preemptive move to try to limit the capacity. It is a very common tool to keep everything safe and secure. But I want to be really clear. Just because the people who are on the front lines not getting paid, being complete heroes, keeping our economy going, doesn't mean that there aren't introduced risks of safety and security into the system because we don't have the cybersecurity unit operating. We don't have the weather service giving us safe routes in the sky. And so this shutdown has really got to end for a lot of reasons. But to your final point, safety and security are directly related to economic stability. And we are starting to feel the effects. Flight attendants also are starting to feel the effects of that hit on our economic stability with these changes.
I mean, I was hearing that from just about everybody involved in the chain in one way, shape, or form, and was mentioning how this could get only worse if they don't get it solved. There's some new comments from the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, on that. Here's what he had to say.
If this continues and I have more controllers who decide they can't come to work and control the airspace, but instead have to take a second job, with that you might see 10% would have been a good number because we might go to 15% or 20%. And one of the consequences of that, too, is our airlines, this is going to cost them tens of millions of dollars.
So you were talking about safety and security. I think some people had brought it up. Is that a legit concern or is this just politics? But you're in the business. You're saying, yeah, with the staffing issues, this was something that they had to do and might have to even do more of?
They may have to do more of it. And we have been saying from the beginning that there is a point at which the system breaks because while we have these heroes coming to work and keeping our economy going, they are human beings. And you can only stretch people so far. And so this will unravel, and it's exactly what the Secretary was talking about. And there will come a point where the system breaks, and people will pay attention then. Passengers in Houston the other day who couldn't get through the security lines because the transportation security officers just can't make it work. They've missed a paycheck and a half. They're about to miss another one. At a certain point, you can't even put a tank of gas in your car to get to work. So the system will completely collapse here, and the airlines will take a hit, which will have a ripple effect across the entire economy. And let's be really clear, when the planes stop, there are a lot of other impacts all across our nation. So people cannot get to their loved ones who are in pain or are dying. You can't get medicines to our veterans because we don't have the flights carrying those that cargo. We can't get packages to people's homes. We can't get the supplies to restaurants and grocery stores for people to have food. The entire economy will start to shut down. That is what is going to happen. This shutdown is not just about the government. The government directly underpins everything else that we do across the economy and certainly everything that we do in aviation.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.